So this is Julia's polynomial function. So up here you can see that this is the function I chose to use. So let's get started. So you can see I've already written all the roots here. So for the 12, all the roots are up here, and 4, all the roots are down here. I choose to use -2 off the bat and did get an answer of 0. So I now know that that is a factor. So now we can use synthetic division. So we're going to bring these numbers down. So bring 4 down. 4 times -2 is -8. 19 plus -8 is 11. 11 times -2 is going to be -22. 28 plus -22 is 6. 6 times -2 is -12. And you get a remainder of 0. So we now confirm that that was correct. Our algebra over here was correct when we put -2 into this equation. So now we're going to bring that down. So that's x plus 2. And then we're going to bring this down. So 4x squared plus 11x plus 6. Now this isn't fully factored to the point where we can actually graph it. So we'd have to factor this again. So over here I show the steps of decomposition just to make sure that I had got the right answer. So when I did that, I got x plus 2 and 4x plus 3. Now we already have x2 over here. So when we write it, we would go x plus 2 squared and then bring 4x plus 3. And now we can get our x-intercepts. So our x-intercepts are going to be -2 and -3/4. So now we can graph that. So here's -2 and -3/4 approximately here. Now the next thing we're going to find is the y-intercept. So to find the y-intercept, we're going to put 0 into x. So do the algebra for that, and we will get an answer for our y-intercept. So we get an answer of 12. So we know that our y-intercept is going to be at 12. Now the last thing I want to do to be even more precise is find out when it drops down where it's going to be at -1, where it's going to be down on this y part of the graph. So I'm going to put -1 in. And so we get an answer of -4. So when we put it on the graph, when it drops down, it's going to drop down to -4. Now, as we can see from the beginning up here, that we can determine what the graph is going to look like. So you can see that it's 3x or x3. So we now know that it's the arrow is going to be down and up. Now we know that it's positive, so the first arrow is going to be down and the second arrow is going to be up. So now we can start graphing. So we're going to bring this up, hit -2, drop down. When we hit -1, it's going to go all the way down to -4. Comes back up for -3/4, and then it's going to come all the way up to the y-intercept, which is 12. And make sure you put arrows on because the graph keeps going and going forever and beyond. And that is how you graph this polynomial function.